Hey guys, this is Crystal with Cloud9 Organizing. Hello, I am the owner of Cloud9 Organizing. And yes, I am sitting in the middle of my living room on my floor. That's just how I roll. So I just made a post on my website, but I wanted just to go do a live video real quick just to talk to you guys about something that I believe is super important. First of all, mess creates stress. And there are four things that I stopped doing whenever I finally figured that out and I got control of the stress in my life because before I was a professional organizer and helped people every day get organized and declutter and hopefully relieve some stress. I was an overwhelmed, stressed out mama. And I talk about this on my website. I talk about this in my blogs. It is something that I am very honest about. I am not perfect. Even though I am a professional organizer, there will be mess in my house from time to time. But I want to talk to you about how I overcame the stress and how I tackled the mess too. It all kind of goes hand in hand. So, way back when, which is a few years ago, I used to be overwhelmed and I felt like I was constantly cleaning the house and constantly picking up, and you still would look around and there would be mess everywhere. I felt like I was getting enough sleep. At least I thought I was. I was going to bed. I still go to bed like at 9 o'clock. I am not a night owl, so I go to bed pretty early. I don't wake up too crazy early, or used to not in the past. Actually, now I wake up much earlier than I used to, and I'm much more refreshed and calm. But before I used to wake up at a normal time, go to bed like really early, and still wake up super tired because I was exhausted from the day before, exhausted from everything I had done, and like mentally exhausted about thinking about what I was going to do today. So, and then also my schedule was a little overloaded and I wasn't paying enough attention. It's embarrassing to say, but I would sometimes forget about obligations I had or completely miss an appointment that I had just because I was overwhelmed and I had too much stuff going on. Okay, so let me tell you the four things that I stopped doing in order to get it in control and figure out the mess and stop being so overwhelmed. So I would suggest that you start doing these things too, or stop doing these things if you are doing them. First of all, multitasking. I used to think that if I was multitasking, that I was getting all these things done at once. I had, all these coals in the fire. So that meant that at the end of the day, more things were going to be accomplished. However, it was the opposite. I was exhausted at the end of the day. And I would look around and be like, well, what the heck did I do all day? I know I did stuff because I'm really tired, but nothing got finished. Or if things did get finished, then they were done just kind of halfway and not to the best of my ability. So stop multitasking. It is so inefficient to multitask. So do one project at a time, get that thing done, and then move on to the next thing. It is kind of a hard habit to break if you're used to multitasking. And if you've got it in your brain that multitasking is amazing and you're really good at it, it's a really hard habit to break. And I hate to break it to you, but it's not efficient. And you're not really doing as good as you possibly could if you are multitasking. So I know that that's just a lie that we're told that we've got to do everything. We've got to do it all at once and it's going to get done better that way, but it's not. Okay, so stop multitasking. Trust me. And then the next thing that you need to stop doing is doing it all by yourself. That's a big one too. Doing it all by yourself. Oh, hey, Teresa. Doing it all by yourself is so not necessary. And if you're a mom, if I'm talking to moms out there, and dads too, parents also for sure, you feel like you've got to do everything for your kids. You feel like you've got to do everything for your spouse and take care of everybody. And I felt like as a mom, and at the time a stay-at-home mom, that I was supposed to do it all by myself, and I really like kind of felt a little guilty asking for help. So silly. Stop. You do not have to do everything for everybody. And you need to actually have some respect for the rest of your family and show them that you trust them and that you know they can do things on their own and they should be doing things on their own, especially if we're talking about children. Teach those kids how to do things. And the way they learn the best is to do it by themselves without mama's help all the time. Don't go back and remake the bed if they've made the bed and it looks crazy to you. Just let it be. Let them learn on their own and do things on their own. So ask for help. And if you aren't getting the help that you need when you're asking for it, you need to start demanding help. And if you aren't getting the help, even when you demand the help, maybe you need to find other resources. Maybe you hire outside help, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So ask family, friends, hire people, get help. Stop doing everything on your own. It's just not realistic to do everything on your own. You need to start delegating and getting help, and you are going to be a better version of yourself if you can get a little bit off of your plate. And then the next thing that I stopped doing, which did not occur to me, as crazy as it sounds, I stopped doing things that I hate. Why do we do things that we hate? We do things that we hate out of obligation and guilt. So stop feeling guilty. If there's something that you are doing that you don't love doing, now I'm not talking about going to work, you still got to go to work. But if there's things that when you go to work at the office, if you hate doing it and it's not necessary and it's just busy work, stop doing it. In the house too, if you're doing things that you don't love doing, like let's say somebody up at your child's school asks you to volunteer for something, all you have to say is no thank you, or no I can't do it right now. And a very good friend of mine, Teresa, pointed out that no does not require an explanation. You don't have to explain yourself. All you have to say is no and then just move on. That is the most freeing thing when you realize you don't have to explain yourself to other people. You don't have to tell them why you don't need to be doing something. Just stop doing it. And that's going to relieve a lot of stress too and get some things off of your plate. Okay. And the number one thing, if you are doing this, not everybody does this, but a lot of people do. Stop doing this. If you are trying to be perfect or trying to turn in perfect projects or whatever task you're working on, if you want that task to be perfect, you're never going to be done because perfection is unrealistic. It's not a real thing. It doesn't exist. You can get it done to the best of your ability, and that's all you can do. You can be the best person you can possibly be, the best to your ability, but that is all you can do. Stop stressing out about being perfect. Oh my gosh. Once you figure that out, that is the best, most freeing thing ever. So I stopped worrying about trying to be as perfect as I could be and just being the best that I could be. Okay, so those are my 4 things that I want you to try to stop doing right now to relieve some stress. And then what I found interesting is once I stopped doing those 4 things, I stopped multitasking. I stopped doing everything myself. I stopped doing things that I hate and I stopped trying to be perfect. Once I stopped those things, then all the mess and all the clutter just kind of naturally just, of course with some work, but it just kind of went away. I mean, I had to put in the muscle and the grit and get it done, but it was so much easier to get it done, and I accomplished so much more at the end of the day. Okay, so that's my little 2 cents for today. And yes, Teresa, no is a complete sentence. I love that so much. You told me that and I'm like, oh, it is a complete sentence. You don't have to say no, I can't do it, but and then try to explain your way out of it or give yourself some guilt. Just say no or no, thank you, whatever. So I love that. That's so freeing. Okay, that's it. That's my 2 cents for Friday, and I'm going to get up off my floor now and go get a few things done. I'm working on my garage, FYI. So this is a totally different subject here, but I am working on decluttering and organizing my garage, and that has been hanging over my head for 10 years. So I am finally in the mental space where I am ready to take care of it. A lot of it is not my stuff, so I need to work with my husband on some things and ask him some questions. So that's a little bit of a roadblock that I had to. We're working through it and we are getting it done. But I wanted to share with you that I do have a Facebook group called Declutter, De-Stress, Simplify. Somewhere in here in Facebook, you can find that tab. I think it's over on the left-hand side. Click that and you can ask to join. You do have to be a subscriber to join. No big deal. It just means that I ask for your email address so I can send you free content. I can send you things that support what we are working on in the group. And also, only join that if you're serious about getting organized. So join us over there if you're serious about getting your calendar decluttered, your schedule decluttered, your house decluttered. Hop over there because it's a more interactive place than just my Facebook page. The group's where you can ask questions and I can give you some free advice and do the best as far as I can to support you, and we support each other in there on any projects we're working on. So I'm super excited to have the support of all those people in there while I'm working through this garage, which is a 10-year project. Oh my God, I think I'm going to cry when it's all done. I'm going to be so excited, but it's coming along nicely. So if you want to see what my garage is looking like hop on over there and join our group. Okay, that's it. Happy Friday, guys. And I will check in at some other point. And thank you so much for being here. And it looks like, hey, David, I see you. Hey, Dave. Okay, bye, Teresa. Thanks, guys.